Good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa from MKTV Studio. Today, we are here on Zoom for the interview. I'm speaking with Emily, a first-year student from UFT. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Lisa. I'm glad to be here today.
Okay, so can you introduce yourself to us a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Emily, as you guys know. I'm currently a first-year student at University of Toronto. I'm currently in the Math and Physical Science program at the St. George campus. I'm hoping to pursue a degree in math and economics, but it's still in progress. And I'm currently living on residence at New College.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so does your school has any attractive activities like any special festivals or job opportunities can offer to students?
Yeah, there are actually a lot of events, fun activities, and lots of job opportunities for everyone. So, for job opportunities, there's actually a website where people can search for university sponsored work study jobs available. These are paid opportunities that are both on and off campus, and they're sponsored by U of T. And for fun activities, we have the Heart House, which is one of the biggest student-focused centers on campus, and they host events on a regular basis. Like we have yoga, fitness classes, dance parties, and many more. And for example, when Halloween is coming up next Saturday, and we have a pumpkin carving content con- contest for it too. Yeah.
Okay, so it must have a lot of activities for student apply that, right?
Yeah.
So what about when you were grade 12, did you apply to school by yourself or find the agencies?
I actually just applied by myself. I feel the process is pretty simple, and for me, there was no need to go through the agencies. Yeah, like most of the things you can just find on Google, and there's a website called Ontario University's info.ca. It has most stuff you need on it.
Okay, yeah, as I know, those agencies are cost a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so do you have any suggestions about applying school? Students need to ask those agencies or they can also apply by themselves.
Yeah, when applying to universities, I really recommend like visiting the campus and going to the tours that they offer if you can. I know it will be different this year because of COVID, but I'm sure there's a lot of virtual tours and events available. I think it's also important you choose what you actually like and not just go with the flow. For example, like I was going to do engineering and I actually got into all the programs I applied for because it seemed like the popular choice as everyone was doing that. But I realized it wasn't the right thing for me. And for agencies, I think if you really want to apply through dumb, it's your choice. Because if you don't feel comfortable doing it all by yourself, that's totally fine. But if you feel, you can definitely check through the like the documents you need to provide. If you feel like you can do all of them by yourself, then there's nothing wrong with applying by yourself.
Okay, so as I know, like it may cost a lot of times, right?
Yeah, when I was applying, there was definitely some essays or some paragraphs I had to write. They did take up some quite some time, but through the agencies you still need to write the essays. But for the agencies, they might help you review your essay. So if you're not that confident in your writing, you can definitely find an agency to help you.
Yeah, that's right. And what about your school's admission requirements? Because as I know, like UFT, they also ask students from grade 12, they need to have a 90 plus, uh, right? Is that
Um,
the same?
I think different programs have different requirements, of course. For I know like um I think the average might be lower for social science or humanities, but you can always find, there's a website called futureutoronto.ca. It has all the grades, all the courses that you need to take for the programs that you want. And sometimes it's also not all just the grades. Sometimes it takes into consideration about like your essays or like the supplementary stuff that you write.
Okay. Yeah, I know education is an investment, and there are lots of significant costs associated with it, such as tuition and textbooks and even residence. Do you know what's the general cost in your school?
Yeah, education is expensive and U of T is also expensive, but different programs have different tuition costs, and if you're an international student, your cost may also be more. For the arts and science program that I'm in right now, the cost for domestic students is about $8,000 a year. That's just the tuition, like no textbook, no residence, no anything. And for international students, the prices are inevitably higher, ranging from, I'm not too sure, it changes every year, but I think from like 25,000 to 50 or
40, I think. Like, yeah,
yeah, I think
40,000.
yeah, it's higher for like international students, but also depending on your program. I know for engineering, the domestic tuition is also like 15,000. And like residents are about the same. It's around 15,000, and that's the same for like international and domestic students.
Okay, so they also have some scholarships to help like residents or international students to reduce their stressful on the
Yeah.
fees fluctuation. Yeah, okay. And some students may have question on what can they do to improve their chances of being admitted.
Yeah, obviously grades are super important, but they're not everything. Like for some of my programs, I have to do a supplementary, I have to hand in my resume. And I think your extracurricular and volunteer experiences are equally important as well. It's never too late to get involved with clubs in your school or like opportunities in your community, and these can also like provide support your university application.
Okay, so was it like to be a student at your university? Do you feel stressed or hard to manage your work?
Yeah, university is definitely very different from high school. The first week, you can feel that there's a lot of work piling onto you. And for university, in a way, it's more stressful because you're actually paying for it, and then it kind of matters. If you fail a course, kind of you're just kind of screwed in a way. So it is definitely a lot more overwhelming than high school, but there's also a lot of support for you. Like they have writing centers, like math aides offices, the registrar's office, and professor office hours that are there to like help you, because it's not universities, they don't exactly, it's not meant for you to fail, they still want you to do well. So I think it's really important to like utilize these resources and like find what's the right fit for you.
Okay, so I remember that you said you study math or engineer like that. Is that harder than business or art careers?
Um, Obviously it depends on like what you're good at. For me, I suck at writing, so if I went into social sciences or like humanities, I definitely would not do well at all. But if you love writing or like you love things like social sciences, then it'll definitely be easier for you in a way. Different course, like for math, I don't have to take a lot of writing or English or like life science courses. And because I think I'm better at math, so it's easier for me than like social science. But if you're really bad at math, then like this might be hard for you.
Yeah, that's true. So, what unique opportunities does your program provide?
There's as a first year, there's not much you can do right now, but for I know for second years, for third, like for upper year students, they have co-op opportunities at U of T. Is actually called PEY, which is professional experience here, I believe.
Mhm.
So these are kind of opportunities where you take a whole year to like go work for a company to like gain experience in the real life, in the real field. These are some of the fun opportunities that my program does. I don't think like social science would exactly have that, but they definitely have like other or like business. But they also still definitely have like other real life experiences or like real life work opportunities for you as well.
Okay, so that's bring us to the end. Thanks, Emily, for speaking with me today.
Thank you, Lisa, for interviewing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharing stories from MKTV studio.
And I'm Emily, a first year student at U of T.
Thank you for watching MKTV, part of the
Toronto
Toronto Student Media Network.